Hello, this is Freak from Yak Chat or House Off, whichever one you come from. Let's just move this recording thing down here. Today I'm going to attempt to paint this picture, mostly just the skin tone I'm going to be focusing on for this little video. But I'm going to be coloring it in it with color gradient, which is a different way of coloring it, and I don't know if PSP has this or not. I've been told it doesn't, so I don't know if it's going to be relevant to most of you, but it might be interesting just to watch and get some of you guys going to Adobe instead of PSP. But anyways, let's just get on with it. So I've already decided to paint this one, and I'm going to make sure it's on image. It's on RGB color because it comes in as index color. So you go to image mode and make it RGB color, and then I'm going to make a copy so I always have the original with me, and I'm going to be painting around with this one. And the first thing you do is we're going to make a little palette of color, a skin tone, and kind of looking at this app, I see that the light is pretty much the head right on her, and there's not really too many darks left and right. There's probably a secondary, like a softener light on her right side to soften up her right side even. So first thing I'm going to do is go to Google, and I'm going to do Amazing Kindle. I have done it before, and then I just go to images and basically kind of look for something that's similar to the girl that we're going to paint. This is a little bit of light on the right hand side, a little bit shadowing, but we could probably use this side of the face as straight on. This fit girl's light is face on. This one we can't use. It's it's only a side light. So we're just going to go down here and see if we can find something. This probably would have been good, but it sure looks like a darker ethne. So than what the girl that we're going to be painting, so that probably won't work. So you can almost do it here too with just using this side of the face. Not too many good choices coming up here. Okay, I like this one up here the most, so I'm just going to go with that one. And copy image. That clip puts it to your clipboard. You come up here to Adobe, and I'm going to paste it in. Control T, and then it's going to shrink it and bring it over. Okay, so that's that. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to make our palette. We're going to I'm on brush tool, but I'm going to hold the Alt key and I'll bring up my little eyedropper, and I'm going to try to find the brightest spot, and I'm going to say this is a brightest spot, and you can see that it's a highlight. You see how the lower part is darker than the top. The lower one is the first one we used, and the top one is the one we're on now. And you can sort of move it around and try and get to the lightest part. So I think that's about as light as it's going to get. We do it again and see if we can find anything a little bit brighter. Oh, it just went up to this. I don't know if you can see it, just a little niche higher. But that's probably the brightest part we're going to get, and we're just going to go over here and just do a little patch there. So now we're going to do the same thing for like the dark areas. Where do you think the darkest area is going to be? Maybe up here in our eye. Maybe it was down here. It's lots lighter. It's not getting darker. Up here in our eyes seems to be the darkest. Ooh, look at that, even way darker. And make our patch over here. That's dark. Then we're going to do a little bit off the white. So that's another patch here. Maybe a little bit darker. Maybe it gets a little bit darker as it goes down here. And that's there, and then even darker and in between the down here. Okay, that's probably good. No, that's not even. Yeah, make it so the look changes a little. Okay, so that's going to be our color palette for our tones. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to here. We're going down to this button, which is like an adjustments there they call them, and we're going to go to gradient map. And like I said, this makes a adjustment layer where it doesn't destroy your actual painting. It actually makes a layer over top it and does all the adjustments on top of it, and it applies it to the layer below it. But when you do an adjustment layer, you can always go back to it and change it at any point. It's not solid until you flatten the layer, which is, incredibly cool and makes Adobe very, very flexible. But anyways, you go down here to gradient map to create a gradient map. And first thing we're going to do is you double click here. That brings up this portion. And you can see how this side's dark and it goes down to light. So we're going to click here to change the color. Click here to move the thing, and we're just going to take a sample of this light area. And then we're going to do close it and do the same thing here. This is going to be the dark one. Click here, and this was a dark section. Why isn't that going again? That's weird how that doesn't go. Okay. It's been a while since I've done this, so bear with me. Strange. Okay, at least it's canceling that whole thing. Does this have to be the one that's active? No. Because this is on top there, that's going to apply it there. Okay, I don't know what went on there. Let's try this again. It's the color, we're going to use this one. Okay. Color, we're going to use this brown, and it went white again. Why is it going to white? It should be picking up that color. So we just use maybe okay. So that basically brings up our tones. And applies the gradient map. We can get rid of this now. And we still have that gradient palette on normal. So it looks funny. So we're going to change it to the color. There we go. So that's a lot better. And we can even improve it by if you right click over here and you go to blending options, and this is going to be the top layer, like our gradient, and this is the bottom layer where the girl is, like here. But what you want to do is you move these, you can see how the black starts coming in together, and if you move this way, the white from below starts coming in. So if you hit your Alt key, it separates these and it makes the transaction smoother. Like this, see how rough that is right there, and you can bring it back. It just makes it a lot smoother transaction. So you just want to bring some of the actual whites from below in, and the same with the blacks. Just bring a little bit of that in as well. Okay, so that's how the mode is, and then you can go back into here, and now you can start playing with these. You can move here and make another box and make it an actual white. See if that made any difference. And you do the same thing over here. Kind of bring these things over. Click here. And we'll make that one actually black. Over here. Okay. And then you can start playing with these and oops. Like that one. And see how it affects our face over here. It's just not much of it's doing much of anything, is it? Let's just get rid of this one. That's something you see all the darkness came in. The darkness. Okay. Anyways, click here, and that's placed there, and you got your gradient map around there. And what you can do is you click on your mask here, hit Control I, which will invert it. See how it made it black? And you grab your brush tool, and now you can just paint on the skin. So you already get it on the areas that you actually want it. Wow, does it look way oranger now? Seems like a lot of that as you start there, the skin tone is like really a lot oranger than what you would expect. Got a little bit on the lips. I'm going to take that off the lips here. No more. I'm going to add it on. take it off the lips. X. Oh, both colors are white. That's why. So yeah, take it off the lips here. Nothing on the eyes. And yeah, I think that's pretty much got her skin tone covered. So that's basically how we started off the skin color. And if you're happy with it, you can still, like, it's still flexible. Now that we can see it with just the skin, we can actually go back in and we can play with these things, like maybe move these around, might do something, or not. Maybe in the dark area, like right in where the shadows are, maybe you want to add another one, and you can change it into something like dark, but like a different color, like a warmer hue of color. Make it kind of like almost purplish. Is that going to do anything? Look, we're just adding. It's adding it right up here in this area here. So Maybe you want something that's even cooler that's up there. I don't know. It's just something to play with. But I don't think I'm going to change it. It's fine the way it is. And that's basically how I, just a different way to touch your skin. And, you know, the way most people do color skin. I'll show you what it looks like different. So there's your black and white. And what do we usually do? We usually just, well, let's get this skin tone here. So that's the color that we painted. And we usually just go up to black and white, make this color, and 100%, and we just paint the whole thing the same color for the lips, and the eyes, and that's the difference. You can see how that looks like very flat and one-toned, whereas this has some depth to it already. You can see how it's a lot lighter here, but it still has color in it. And over here it's like redder and darker there, whereas the way we normally do it with just painting over the whole thing, it's kind of the same monochrome. There's no different hue changes or anything like that. So that's the difference between like using this color the way most people have learned how to color skin and using a gradient, which, you know, adds a little bit of a little more depth. I find a little bit more warmth to the skin tone. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of this thing again. I'm just going to flatten this layer because I don't like it as it is. I'm going to bring this down here, and another thing you do is go to your top one. You can go to your image U, which is Control U, and I'm just going to bring this slider a little bit to make it red, just a touch redder than what it was, maybe a touch darker. Take the saturation down a little bit. This a hair. I hit OK, and I'm going to make a mask here. I'm going to go Control I to cover it all up, and then come back here with black or white and my brush, and I'm just going to go over some areas that that blood goes through usually, like usually under eyes, right? Usually the tips of the nose, you get like this little area that's kind of redder along the neck sometimes, the lips for sure. And I'm just going to touch some of these areas up, like the eyelids and whatnot. And yeah, it's even that a little bit more color in there. And that's pretty much it for the skin tone. I'm going to merge this down again. And then we can just go ahead and paint like we normally do. So we get some maybe pink lipstick. There is some pink lipstick. So like, yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's a little strong. Let's just delete it and maybe go with something like 80% or 75%. That's close. Some more pale lips. I'm just going to go around and color all her eyes just the way we normally do. So around here, green eyes. What is going on? Green eyes. Okay. Their eyes are very, very green there. So, green eyes, what are we going to do with the hair? We're going to make the hair blonde, I guess. Who doesn't like a blonde? She looks like she's blonde already. Okay, and then very blonde, very, 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 very blonde. Just go through and try and get all the hair strands. And her extremely blonde hair. Almost looking unrealistically blonde. Right? So how can we fix that? This You can copy, and you can go to Control U and just bring down the saturation a bit so it becomes more realistic in her hair. Does that look a little bit more realistic? A little bit darker, a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. Was it too blonde? But that was kind of green. You go something like that. Hit OK. Make your mask. Control I to make it all black. And now we're just going to use our brush with white to go over the hair just to bring that down because it's a really unrealistic color at the moment. I'll just bring down all this hair a little bit. And you always have to ask, you can change it to your black and change your opacity down to like way low and just tap in some highlights of that stronger yellow color we had. It gives a little bit more variety to her hair, so that's kind of cool. So we're going to merge down. So far, this is beginning, and this is where we got to, and we haven't done any filters, we're just basically applying color. We can do, so we're going to copy, just play around with this hat, and I'll show you. Here's another one that I don't think I've shown yet. What you can do is make a mask, and you're going to take your brush and your black tool, put this up to 100%, and put this up to 100%, and I'm going to color over her hat. And you can see up here where the mask is doing. I'm sort of using up here to see where I have covered, but I'm just basically covering the mask because I know that's the area I want to cover. And it doesn't have to be too accurate at first. You can refine it later, but you're just trying to get an area. And the next thing you do, let's just make a copy of this so I don't surround the original. Oops. You go to layer underneath it, and you go Control U, which brings out your saturation. Now what you can do is you can just slide that slider back and forth while it's going on. It's not much of a change, is it? What is that? What is that? Okay, there's a change there. What is going on? That should be changing the hue as you slide it along, but it is not. Let's try colorize maybe. Okay, now you know. There you go. So I'm going over the saturation a bit. Then I just slide this along and try to get the color hat what it could be like. So that you got purple, you can make it so it looks more like your lipstick maybe. Or something like in this area. Or maybe go with more of the eyes, try to be consistent with the eyes. I kind of like it consistent with the eyes. Probably bring down the saturation a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like it keeping in touch with their eyes. I don't think I'm going to change the colors here. Just leave that black. Let's maybe a little bit different a way that you guys haven't seen the color. And you can close this, and even before you merge these two, you can actually go in. You can go like Control B, and you can get like maybe some darker greens or something into the shadow areas. See what this kind of does to the picture. You can refine it a little bit. Maybe the highlights, or like more of a bright yellow. You see how it's changing that, and the shadows maybe, you know, you bring in darker greens. So you can play around with that before you merge it and let it go. Yeah, so something like that. Hit it. You come up here, you can refine your mask again. Just making sure, oops, get the color. Just making sure that you don't have any color bleed anywhere. And or if you missed a little tiny spot of hat right here. So that's the hat. Merge it down. And yeah. So you go from here to there. I don't think I said that. I think I'm gonna keep her shirt kind of black. Can we do it the other way? I don't know. What do you think? So we're going to go to make backgrounds in here now. So I go to my. These are like my field meal cuts I chose from. I'm going to go to as painting sources, and these are like my backgrounds, cryptics. I tend to go to Cali's. I like Cali's a lot. Kind of like that's pretty busy. I like that. So I'm going to just go and grab it, get to my Photoshop dropper, let it go, and I'm going to rasterize it. Then I'm going to make a mask black, and then I'm going to bring her face to. And now we're just creeping in the mask, the background. Using my my finger on the X changes this over here, just sort of flops them. So the black will hide it and the white will bring it in the background. So you just sort of flutter between those two as you go around and try to get the background to come up close to her image, her hair, and the hat as possible without losing it. You can see she had some. Almost looks like I put some shoulder on there, but it's the background. It's kind of funny. So this background really didn't hit on. Oh, I'm not doing the background. That's why. Yeah, the background really didn't hit on a lot of areas. That's a black shirt. And there we go. So now we have like a background in anyways, and we can also click on the background instead of the mask now. And we can go Control U, we can play around with some colors maybe. We might get some greens in there to match the hat, like the way the theme's going. So where are the greens? Purple, kind of green there. Green down to saturation. Do you like it dark? Do you like it light background? Almost always works better with the dark. You bring these up quite a bit, maybe. Maybe you can find some green in here. I don't like it. So we'll go with that. We can click it. You can do the Control B again to bring up your color balance. The B is for balance. You can also start farting around this. So if you want more green in there, you just bring your greens in, see? And maybe in the darker shadows, you bring more green in, but you can bring some blue down. Yeah. Kind of darken it down to a little bit. You don't want to overpower the green. You want the green to highlight like your eyes and that and everything. So you can mess around with the background with your control balance. And maybe I want a little more yellow there. Yeah. Okay. So now we got that, and we can actually do this right now too. I like to burn one side of my background usually, so I'll make sure I'm on background and not the mask. Make sure I'm on the background. Go to my burn tool, and I usually make it, about that big, and I just gonna burn the edge of this where his shoulder is, everything that comes in contact with each other. Just sort of burn that in. Burn, burn, burn. Maybe it's not midtones, maybe it's more shadows now. That usually does a better job, but anyways, I can go back to mask again, and I can bring back some, oops, wrong color, hit my X. Wrong color, hit my X. Okay, merge down. Bring it down here. And that's, you went from here to here. I like your tones. And we didn't use any filters on our face for like softening or anything like that. We could probably try that, see what happens. Name and suppress, softener. Kind of makes your face more uniform. See how it kind of made our face a little bit lighter. Lost some details in our lips and our nose though, but yeah, it definitely made it more uniform. So maybe we can bring it down to about like 60%, 70%. Make a mask. Make a mask. And then go to your thing, your brush tool, make a black, and just bring in some of the details that we had lost. It looked like we lost some of the lips and the your eyes. You don't want to lose details in your eyes. Your nose, just bring some of that back. Make a little bit of the hair where the highlight hits. Merge down. Make another copy. Let's try the stronger soft mood. That really does something, doesn't it? Do we like that really something? Well, that's the question. Oh, that's more better. No. Just split your slider so you figure something you like. Is it okay? You can always just click it off and on to see what you like and what you don't like. So what do you like? I don't think I'll like any of that actually. Let's go and delete it. So let's go to the other filter that's up there. It's the same thing, soft mood, and over here. Yeah, that's more what I want. So I'm just gonna fade this and make it a little bit brighter. Something like that. Yeah, that softens the mood. Didn't really fuck with the colors too much. Some a little bit redder, maybe saturated. And then I'm just going to make a mask here to reclaim some of the details and stuff. Let's bring this up a little bit. In the hat, especially the hat. The eyes, the mouth. You're trying to just like generally go in the areas that are really super bright down here. The highlights in her puffy area there. So I'm just hitting, like I'm not hitting like this whole section, I'm just hitting the area that's high. It makes it different, it gives it sort of depth, because as things move away in shadow, you tend to lose the detail of that object too. So you lose the sharpness. And that's basically what I'm doing, is basically just a sharpness. And let's see what it did to the background. kind of like to the background. What it did, let's bring some of this background back a little bit. Yeah, kind of liking that. So we have from here down to here. That's kind of good. Just merge it down. Control copy. Now control copy. Just drag down and drop it right on this one. It will make a new selection. So that's kind of good. And we can go control B and see what kind of effect we done on the whole image. You basically just slide these things back and forth until you get something that you kind of like. And do the highlights. Something like that anyways. Okay. You see the changes there, how it made her face a little bit smaller, it looks like. Kind of like it, but here we'll just bring it down to like, bring this thing down to about 40%, maybe like 60%. Then we can do another mask. There's other effect areas that we did like, which is pretty much everything around it. Kind of like the hat. This hat is, we're losing this hat. So I kind of like that. We'll just merge it down again, make a copy. So we made a copy. What else can we do to this thing? Looks like we can do a little bit of smoothing of the skin here. It's got freckles and stuff. We'll just get smooth them right out. So it's not too much more to do this. Although we have lost a hat, I might want to do like maybe image just some vibrance, maybe. Your vibrance. So you can bring your vibrance right up and saturation up. Doesn't really do too much. You can put this. You can put this underneath and then make this the mask. Then you control I because you just want the mask to be all black. Let's just make it the other way. Make it that way. We use the black and that color to reveal what's underneath, which is the hat. So we just made it like a lot more vibrant. And you want to kind of fade off into the shadows. So what that do? That's very subtle, but anyways, it's there. And that's pretty much an app, right? That's almost done. You can still flutter around that. You go. I want to try to sharpen it. I would go and focus and sharpen it all. So let's see where things popped on that one. You can do the same thing. You can just sort of here and make your mask, make it black, and then you can just take away the areas that you did think the thing worked with, which I think it worked pretty much on everything really, really well. I'm just going to bring down the skin tones a little bit. And when I turn this thing back on again, it should Yeah, make a difference there. Merge down, and I'm going to add my little logo right here. So Control copy, come back here, Control V, Control T to, I don't really transform it often, but so probably right here is going to be the area. Double click to set it. I'm going to go Control U and just slide my car around to see what kind of color I like. Do I like to go with the green jacks with the greens? I don't know. Sometimes you want to do something with the background, make it something in the background, or you want to. Yeah, I think you're making it the green. Oh, I like that blue. I'm just gonna make it the blue. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I don't know if you learned anything with a gradient map or if I did it that well. It's been a long time since I've done a gradient map. I was just sort of doing it by from memory of what I used to do on larger images to see if it would work on a smaller one. And I think for the most part it did. And yeah, that's it for this time. We'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.